Hey guys, Megaton Menace here, back with another video. So today, I'm going to be watching and reacting to Death Battle, Blake Belladonna from RWBY versus Mikasa Allbarn from Attack on Titan. So, when it comes to this matchup, with RWBY, obviously, I've seen everything and I'm fully caught up. Now, with Titan, I believe, halfway through Season 3. So I guess herpaderp spoilers, when the Beast Titan shows up with the dad standing on its shoulder in the show, I think that was the midpoint of Season 3. That's where I stopped watching Attack on Titan. Now, based off of what I've seen out of Mikasa, I actually think that Mikasa probably should win. I think that she's faster and that she's more skilled. However, here's the thing. Even though I think Mikasa should win the fight, I think that Blake will win the fight. Because, now, yes, it is true that Weiss did lose to Mitsuru, but at the end of the day, Death Battle and RWBY are both Rooster Teeth productions, and therefore, they are going to be biased. And therefore, if a matchup, obviously, any matchup that a RWBY character should win, a RWBY character will win. But then, any matchup that is a super close and that is a coin toss, they will give to the RWBY character because of bias. RWBY characters will only lose if they're at a major disadvantage. And I think that for that same reason, when it comes to the RWBY franchise as a whole, in Death Battle, they'd be okay with having them tie or win, but not lose. In other words, someday, when Ruby Rose versus Maka Allbarn happens, Maka is going to win that fight easily. Easily. And I don't think that they're going to want to be Yang wins, Weiss loses, Blake uses, RWBY loses. So, but if they have Blake win this fight, then RWBY can lose to Maka and it'll be 2-2 instead of a loss sweep. Now, I know that that's a lot of politics, but that's what I think. I think that Mikasa should win, and I think that Blake will win, and I think that they will give her the win because of their own personal bias. And the simple truth is that whenever Death Battle, in a lot of ways, is a marketing thing, because it is undeniable that sometimes what happens is people sit down, they watch a Death Battle, they're only familiar with one character, the character that they're familiar with loses, and then it makes them want to check out the series that the winner is from. And guess what? People watching RWBY is more beneficial for Rooster Teeth than people going to watch Attack on Titan. Anyway, you know what? I've rambled on long enough. Let's dive into this episode. I know, and see how it actually plays out.
Blake Belladonna, the feline huntress from RWBY, and Mikasa Ackerman, the giant killing
I got her last name wrong.
On Titan. These two reluctant heroes are fighting for a better world. What'll happen when they go toe-to-toe to see who's the swingiest and the cuttiest? He's Wiz and I'm Boomstick. And it's our job to analyze their weapons, armor, and skills to find out who would win a death battle.
10 years.
Those who make peaceful revolution impossible will make violent revolution inevitable.
Yeah.
JFK was thinking about anime cat girls when he said that.
I doubt it.
Despite the Remnant being home to a plethora of magical beings, the Faunus were subject to discrimination from humanity. That's so dumb. How can humans be racist against Faunus? Aside from looking slightly different, they're basically exactly the same. Oh, I get it.
For most
Right,
of
right.
Donna worked with the faunus activist organization, the White Fang. But when her parents expressed concern at its growing violent tactics, she ran away to join
The reason why it's weird, though, is because, like, in real life, like,
believing
the
faunus
only
is
difference
a quote-unquote
between,
world instead of humans, Adam
like,
Forrest
a
turned
white
the
person, a
Fang
black
into a
person, and an
terrorist
Asian person
organization.
is
With
their
the young,
skin color.
impressionable Blake
However,
in tow,
faunus
now
do
Blake must
actually
put her
have,
human faunus
like,
abilities to the
super
test
hearing
as a
and night
gorilla
vision and
fighter.
enhanced agility,
Not a gorilla, Wiz. She's clearly a cat.
and
Dang
other
it.
things
That's not what I said.
because of being a faunus, depending on what type of faunus they are. And therefore, objectively speaking, faunus are more powerful than humans in Ruby, and therefore, it legitimately does not make sense for people to be racist against them.
She will be as defenseless as any ordinary human.
Her aura
Yes.
survived this huge flying monster called the Nevermore crashing into her. Twice!
See, and
Measuring the size of the Nevermore compared to the stone structure,
it also sucks, because, like, aura is so inconsistent, because, like, sometimes it blocks things automatically, but sometimes you have to mentally think about putting a barrier up. And
I guess you could say she
sometimes
sold it.
getting hit by an umbrella once will break your aura, but other times you can get punched through a concrete pole by a mecha, and you have your aura be fine. And therefore, because whether or not aura is OP or useless is determined by what the writers want to do in the moment, that literally means that whether or not Mikasa can break Blake's aura or not is literally determined by whether or not the Death Battle writers want Mikasa to be able to break her aura or not.
Just a boy. That is bad.
Yes.
Horrified, Blake turned her back on Adam and the White Fang, and for the second time in her life, she ran away.
Like running away is her superpower.
In a sense,
Yeah, she does it all the fucking
Blake's aura
time.
allows her to manifest a unique ability, or semblance, called Shadow. Born from her desire to escape, Blake can create a
Yeah,
brief,
and she can
intangible
incorporate
glow for
dust into
deception,
those.
evasion, or even to propel herself through the air.
She can even combine them with different kinds of dust, which
Yeah.
is basically
So
magic
theoretically,
dust
she
powder.
could, like,
Fire dust
freeze
blows
somebody
till
or blow
explode
them
on
up by
impact.
dodging.
Well, ice will freeze you solid. Though once she runs out of aura, that's it for her semblance too.
Yeah.
Wiz?
But the thing is, without aura, the fight's over. As soon as her aura's gone, one attack from anything will kill her.
Don't worry, just some biological cloning.
Oh my.
It's a hobby. Don't ask if I'm the original. I genuinely don't know anymore.
Okay,
Alone
that's
again.
definitely an
Blake
Invincible.
lacked purpose
That
and a
feels
place
like
to
an
call
Invincible
home.
reference, because that's
Until
exactly
she
how the
reached
Maulers.
Beacon Academy.
I don't know how
She
far in
learned to be a
advance they write
huntress,
shit
a soldier
though.
of peace sworn to protect the land from monsters.
But then again, it's also true that
And she wouldn't do it alone. Blake would join up
the
with fellow
concept
hunters
of them
in
putting
training,
of them
Yank
writing a
Shell
one-line
and Ruby
gag
Rose to make Team
in
Ruby
a month.
with a
Yeah, I could see it.
W.
She didn't just find teammates, but friends as well.
Feelings gross. Don't worry, the power of friendship didn't get in the way of her kicking some ass. In fact, it made her even better at it. She's defeated the gangster Roman Torchwick, the kaiju-sized Sea Fei Long, and
It's
the
like,
assassin
yes, she
Mercury and
defeated
Emerald,
Torchwick in
and
a
they can dodge
1v1,
natural
but it's
lightning.
also true that
Apparently,
Blake's
since
son
the
and
travel
Penny
relative to
together
the lightning bolt,
lost
we can
against
determine
him in a
they were moving
3v1.
26,000 meters per second, nearly 80 times the speed of sound.
She even
Yes, but
managed
that's
to
Mercury,
stand up to
so it has
Adam
nothing to do with
and Mom
Blake.
just doesn't understand energy with the help of a new, way less toxic partner. So long, you abusive a-hole.
No easy feat considering Adam was strong enough to pulverize this massive
Yes.
spider droid with his moon slice, a feat worth over 4 tons of TNT.
Not too bad for a bootleg.
Yeah, but his sword scales to the amount of energy he's
Over
absorbed.
and over before breaking.
Despite her troubled past, Blake would never stop fighting for a better, more peaceful, more equitable world. She was done running. With her friends at her side, she would face the future head on.
So long.
Welcome
All right,
to
Mikasa.
scenic Shiganshina. Enjoy the rustic medieval architecture.
For 5 minutes
Fabulous.
before it blows up.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yep, that can't be good.
Cowering behind enormous walls, the last remnants of humanity were driven to near extinction by the arrival of the monstrous titans.
Yeah.
Despite that, little Mikasa Ackerman lived a happy, normal life. Until her parents were brutally murdered in front of her. But never fear, she Una reversed the shit out of those assholes. Another pint-sized
Okay.
psychopath in training.
Adopted by Aaron's parents, Mikasa and Aaron somehow live
I would
a
assume
happy,
that it was a
normal
red
life.
reverse card. Yeah, black's not a color in Uno. Well, just the wild cards are black, technically.
Titans. I'm sensing a pattern here.
With barely anyone in her life lasting longer than a 25-minute episode, Mikasa
Right?
became Aaron's guardian angel.
Certainly a valuable asset to Aaron, who devoted his life to exterminating
She's
the
like,
Titan
shit,
threat.
everyone I know dies. I
Together,
need
they
to, like,
joined
make
the
friends with the
military and got
protagonist.
their
He'll be
hands on
safe.
some sweet Titan slaying gear. The
Plot armor
vertical
will keep him
maneuvering
alive.
equipment. Or me.
Also known as
Zoom, zoom.
omnidirectional movement, or ODM gear in the anime, it allows Mikasa to fight
Yeah.
the towering titans at
It
their
is
own
true
level.
that,
ODM gear comes with two 20 to 30 foot long iron wire spears. She can
it is true that
separately
even
aim
though
and
she's
shoot
got more
that'll hook into any
maneuverability,
surface. They'll allow her to swing around
the
like a
wires
steampunk Spider-Man.
could be
She can
broken
zoom
pretty
through the
easily,
air
just
in
like
two
how
directions on a dime with a special fan on her back that fires
the
pressurized
fucking
gas.
swords break
Farting.
so fucking
That's
easily.
called farting, Wiz.
But those swords are always fucking breaking. Stop it. Damn.
Another clone.
Mikasa's ODM gear can propel her at speeds up to 366 kilometers per hour. That's almost a third the speed of sound.
Assuming she can reach top
That's
speeds in a
technically
second,
more than a third the
it's
speed of
over
sound.
10
Well,
Gs of
yeah,
force,
'cause like
10
750
times Earth's gravity.
For reference,
Something like-
astronauts withstand about
it's
3
700
Gs of
something
force
is
during
when you
liftoff,
break sound
and fighter
barrier.
pilots can withstand up to 9 Gs for a second or two during aerial combat. Even just 6 Gs for a sustained period of time can be fatal for a human being. But Mikasa can survive almost twice that much and fight giant monsters at the same time.
That
Yeah.
insane speed makes her especially
I guess that
deadly
so
when
she
whips out her
technically does
special
have
Titan
higher than
slashing
normal
sword
human
made of
durability because of
ultra-hard
that, I
steel.
guess.
And that's exactly the term I'd use to describe myself after watching what they can do to a Titan.
Despite their name, they're rather fragile, at least
Right.
relative to the super tough Titan skin they have to repeatedly cut. So Mikasa
Yeah, they
carries a
break all
set
the
of
time.
12 that she can easily dispose of and replace mid-combat.
Yeah, that kind of became a problem when some super intelligent Titans started sporting crazy tough armor. That's when Mikasa breaks out the big
Yes.
guns, the Thunder Spears.
Essentially proto-bazookas,
Huh.
the Thunder Spears are thrown like javelins. They're sharp enough to pierce even the armor.
I don't remember that shit at all.
Hide, and once their fuse is severed, they'll explode, devastating
Damn.
anything within range.
Shattering the armored Titan's armor is no joke. It was
Yeah.
tough enough to tank punching a hole through Wall Maria.
By measuring the size of the gate in comparison to, let's go with this guy, we can determine the armored Titan violently fragmented over 1,000 cubic meters of rock.
That'd take over
Okay.
18 tons of TNT, enough to level a city
Which means he
block.
can withstand that
The
much, which
Thunder
means the spears are more than
no
that.
surprises here. If you're too close to one of its blasts,
Ooh.
it's game over.
Despite the awesome power at her fingertips, Mikasa only really joined the military to watch over and protect Eren.
Like a loving mother hen.
He needs to last more than a 25-minute episode at all costs.
Also turn into one of those super intelligent Titans.
Now humanity's greatest weapon against the Titan menace, Eren was at the center of all major anti-Titan operations, which meant Mikasa was there too,
Yep.
ruthlessly dispatching anyone that might harm him.
Get over yourself, Aaron. So what if your childhood home was destroyed by a Titan? You're living rent-free in this girl's head. And it could be man, like she's programmed to protect him.
You're not off base.
Yeah.
Mikasa's last name isn't inconsequential. Ages ago, the Ackermans were bioengineered to be subservient super soldier royal guards to the mighty Eldian Emperor.
Well, wherever
Huh.
all that shit came from, Mikasa's got the Ackerman blood coursing through
Okay.
her veins. The same blood that gives her a fraction of a Titan's power without transforming. Holy crap!
It's that power that allowed Captain Levi, another Ackerman, to dodge point-blank bullets. That's over Mach 2, and Mikasa can easily keep up with him.
It also lets her subconsciously tap into the combined experience and battle instincts of Ackerman's past. She's like the avatar of Titan murder.
Unfortunately, this blood bond with Eren means that even when he goes too far, she's obligated to protect him. Kind of like a
Okay.
robot.
I don't buy it, Wiz. She doesn't love him because of her DNA. She loves him because he's the only one who stood up for her when she couldn't stand up for herself. When she was the rest of her
Yeah.
friends, she sees a hope for a brighter tomorrow.
Wow, Boomstick. That was touching.
And she has fart powers.
Well, it was nice while it lasted.
I'm not listening to another word.
Okay. Yeah, I mean,
No point.
It's like most, like that last minute or two was all like, oh, like definitely shit from later than where I had watched. In 3D! But it makes sense, because, like, RWBY's a 3D animated show, and there have been many 3D Attack on Titan games.
You deaf? I said get the hell! Leave me alone! Are those 2 sets of ears? She must have 4 times the hearing.
Not quite. Because it's one of those things where, like, your hearing is equal to whatever your, like, if her human ears are like an 8 out of 10 with hearing, and her cat ears are a 10 out of 10 with hearing, that doesn't mean she's an 18 out of 10 at hearing, it means she's a 10 out of 10 of hearing. It just means that she's better at hearing than Mikasa is. Boop.
She likes popping those clones and attacking me from behind.
Whoever wins has to fight Spider-Man, but not in a death fight, in a web-swinging competition. It is weird, because, like, everything that Blake is doing with her swinging, I do think Blake would be capable of, but it's also true that she doesn't really swing around that much in the actual show. Like, there is a little bit, like the Nevermore fight in Volume 1, for example, but it does feel a little weird to see Blake being like Spider-Man.
Gotcha this time.
My aura! Ouch. God damn it. The reason why it's funny is just because, like, is because when Yang's death battle happened, she still had her arm in the show. Ouch. So to cut Blake's arm off is kind of funny.
Incoming!
Yeah, okay.
I told her not to get too close to that thunder spear. Too bad she can't hear omniscient
So yeah, basically when it's after I thought it was going to.
Despite Mikasa's overwhelming and frankly terrifying tenacity, Blake's varied arsenal and powers gave her a clear edge.
The ODM gear allowed Mikasa to keep up with Gamble Shroud's agility. But
I mean, Blake definitely has more
Mikasa
superpowers,
was
but
kind of a one-trick pony. And that's especially compared to the Swiss anime knife that is Gamble Shroud, which could stretch 10 to 16 times longer than either of Mikasa's cable.
Blake's
That's
variety
true.
of shadows she could spam at will kept Mikasa guessing.
And that matters a lot in a
a
fight like this, I guess.
To be fair, the Thunder Spears were a different story, and were powerful enough to shatter Blake's aura. The aura could survive around 4 tons of TNT, while the Spear's explosion could dish out over 18.
Okay.
Blake's far greater speed made her nearly impossible to consistently hit. While Mikasa could keep up with characters that can dodge bullets, Blake could keep up with characters that can dodge lightning.
Yeah.
This case, nearly 40
So-
times faster than Mikasa.
And those
So
Thunder Spears are meant for big, slow Titans. not human opponents, so it's unlikely she'd ever get a solid hit in with one.
In that same sense, Mikasa's Ackerman heritage couldn't save her either.
It may give her generations worth of combat experience Avatar style, but almost all of it was against Titans, not upon his hunters like Blake, who has powers the Ackerman family has never seen before.
Coupled with
Like,
her Odium Gear's
Death
limited
Battle
fuel
is
supply
always
and
saying
breakable
that
swords,
dodging
Mikasa just couldn't
lightning
end the fight
means that
before her
you're
own options
able
ran out.
is the same as
Mikasa
dodging
had
light.
guts, but Blake's speed,
but
versatility, and sick anime
That's technically
combo
not
weapon
true because
keep her dead.
lightning isn't
It may
made
have
of
been
light;
a
it's made of
gamble,
electricity.
but Blake had the
And I get,
spirit to win
yeah,
without a
electricity does
shadow
move
of
with the
a
speed
doubt.
of light, but because
The
it's a
winner
bolt,
is
it's a little
Blake
different.
Belladonna.
All right, who's next?
Hope you guys enjoyed that episode of Death Battle. As always, you can get our latest merch at store.roosterteeth.com. And also, click down below to watch another video.
Alrighty. Iron Fist and Kung Fu Panda? Okay. Poe versus Iron Fist, yeah. Okay, so, Iron Fist versus Poe. Okay, let me put it this way. I am familiar with both of the characters, so I will be watching that episode in 2 weeks, so look forward to that. However, that is also not a hype matchup. And if you tell me that a lot of people have been asking for that matchup, I'm calling bullshit, and I straight up don't believe you. And that with this season supposedly being, like, this is the 10th anniversary season, it's the legacy season, and it's supposed to be a bunch of matches that are all highly requested. Just, I don't believe that Poe versus Iron Fist is a highly requested match that fans have been asking for a long time. I don't. Like, I've literally never seen anyone ask for or talk about or mention that matchup ever. Now, it is also true that when it comes to people asking for death battles, the play, like, I see that through, like, YouTube videos of people talking about their 10 most wanted ones and comments on death battle episodes. However, and never, and not, like, on the Rooster Teeth forum or Reddit or anything like that. So maybe I just wasn't looking in the right place. But, yeah. So, this episode of Death Battle that we just watched was very, very meh. Now, I actually do think that they did a decent job of explaining why Mikasa won. Or, I'm sorry, of why Mikasa lost and Blake won. But this episode did have more holes in the research than normal, and I do think even with the based off of the analysis that they provided, I do think that Mikasa should have won. However, it's also true that the fight going in was closer than I initially thought it was. So it's not a huge big deal. And yeah, I'll see you guys next time for Poe versus Iron Fist. And that one's hard because my gut instinct is like Iron Fist because he's a comic book character, he's got way more history, and also his Iron Fist is technically, like, he's a comic book character, he has more history, his power is technically coming from magic, whereas Poe is just a panda. But it's also true that because Poe is a cartoon character, there could easily be some crazy, ridiculous cartoon feat. Also, with Kung Fu Panda, I know for a fact that I saw the first two movies. And then the third movie, I legitimately don't remember if I saw or not. And then anything else that's in the franchise, I 100% for sure have not seen. Like, for example, it seems like for example, Iron Fist has like 50 years of history, so it seems like that he'll probably have some crazy feat from somewhere in there that allows him to win. However, I also wouldn't be surprised if they're like, oh, well, in the Kung Fu Panda video game, Po has a super move where he, like, eats a bowl of noodles and then punches a mountain in half, and that outscales everything in Iron Fist kit. So, yeah. Anyway, this has been way longer than it should have been, so I hope that you guys enjoyed, and until next time, peace.